What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Leizel. So for today's video, I am back with a makeup tutorial. Of course, I'm going to be showing you guys how I achieved this look right here. I don't know what it is lately, but I've just really been craving to do a green makeup look, like something with the olive tones, shimmery, warm, golden. That's everything that I wanted to do, and that's exactly how this look turned out today. So I'm really excited to show you guys how I did it. I actually finished watching Money Heist recently, and I don't know why this like has nothing to do with Money Heist, but whenever I think of like green eyeshadow looks like this one with that golden undertone to it, I really think of the words Money Heist. Like that's what comes to mind. So I want to call this like a Money Heist look, even though it has absolutely nothing to do with this show. But yeah, that's the kind of vibes that it's giving me. It's giving me like golden, green, rich, like warm vibes. So that's what comes to mind when I look at this look. But yeah, comment down below and let me know if you've watched Money Heist, because I actually really enjoy that show and I can't wait till they come out with the next season. But as always, if you guys do enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, like it before you leave it, and if you're new, you know what to do. Join the crew by hitting the little red subscribe button down below and click the bell as well so you don't miss any more videos that I post. And with that being said, let's get into it. Alright you guys, first things first, today I am of course going to be priming my skin, and for that I'm using the NYX Multi-Tasking Spray. I've actually been preferring to use this over all of my other regular primers lately, purely for the fact that it's so quick and easy, spray it on and you're good to go. Alright, so now that I've let that primer settle into my skin, I'm going to be going in with foundation. Today I'm going to be using the Maybelline Superstay 24 Hour Foundation. For reference, the shade that I'm using is number 34 Soft Bronze, and as you guys can see, I am dotting that all over my face. And then I'm going to go in with a damp Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge to blend that into my skin. Now, if you haven't tried this foundation before, it is quite thick in consistency. And when it comes to thicker foundations, I do prefer to use a beauty blender to blend it into the skin, just because I feel like it gives a more natural finish and it doesn't leave your face looking cakey. It's been a minute since I've used this foundation, you guys, so I totally forgot about how nice it looks on the skin. It just gives a really nice even finish to the skin without looking cakey, without looking heavy, even though it is a thicker foundation, as I said. But as you guys can see, if you blend it in right with a dampened beauty sponge, it leaves the skin looking flawless. So next up, I'm going to be going in with some concealer, and I'm going to be using the Loreal More Than Concealer. This one is in the shade Cashmere, and you guys know that this has been a favorite of mine lately. So you guys know the drill, just the usual, applying it underneath my eyes, down the bridge of my nose, above my brows, and a little bit on my chin. And then I'm actually going to go in with the dampened beauty sponge to blend it in. I'm actually just going to go in with a little bit extra to the inner corner of my eyes, and as you can see, I'm using a buffing brush to blend that in, just because sometimes I feel like it's a little bit difficult to get into this area with a sponge, purely for the fact that I have lashes, so it's like, you know, they get in the way. As much as I love my lash extensions, I have thought about like taking them out purely for tutorial purposes, because sometimes it's a little bit difficult. I just love them for the fact that it's so easy to be ready on those days where you don't put makeup on. It's like you've got your lashes and you're good to go. But yeah, that's why I'm doing this extra little step of going in with a brush, just so that I can get to the inner corner of my eyes. I'm also just going to take a little bit, whatever is left on that brush, and just run it over my lids real quick, just to even them out a little bit. Alright, so now that my concealer is on, I'm going to go ahead and quickly set that before it has a chance to crease up on me. And today I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder. Now, I recently picked this up just yesterday actually, so it's going to be my first time trying this today, but I've heard so many good things about it, so I kind of wanted to, you know, see how it goes. So I'm just going to take a little bit into the lid. As I said, I've never used this before, so I don't know how it's going to go on me, but I wanted to try it. So I'm just going to go ahead and take some of that on the beauty blender, and I'm just going to go and press that under the eyes. Oh, that feels really nice on the skin actually. It feels really like smooth and lightweight, which I do like in a powder, especially if it's going underneath my eyes. I do want it to be you know, lightweight, because the heavier the powder is, the more it's likely to crease up on you if you have fine lines, which I do have fine lines in my under eye area. So yeah, that actually feels really nice to apply to those areas. I'll go ahead and put some on all the other areas that I applied the concealer as well, just to set it in place. But that powder feels, ooh, it feels like really smooth, which I like. I'm just gonna go in and kind of smooth it out with the brush, just to make sure nothing's too, you know, chalky in those areas. I'm not gonna set the rest of my face just because I honestly don't feel like I need it, but I'll just go over it with the other end of the sponge again, just to make sure that there's no harsh lines. But that is my base done. Alright, so I zoomed you guys in so that you can actually see what I'm doing up close. But for this look today, I'm going to be using the Morphe James Charles palette. This is actually the mini, which, let me show you guys what I did to it. I took the little sheet, because it's so difficult sometimes when like shades have names but they're not on the actual palette. So yeah, I took it upon myself to take the sheet with the names, tape it on myself, and now I can actually reference the names for you guys. So for this look today, I think I want to start off with this shade right up here at the top called Punch Me. I'm going to take that on a fluffy blending brush and apply that to my crease. I describe this shade as like a nice matte nude neutral shade. It's not too warm, not too cool. It's a good in-between, which makes it perfect as a transitional crease shade. So as you guys can see, I'm just blending that through my crease, running it back and forth, making sure that it's nice and blended, and really keeping it to the socket of my eye to, as I said, define the crease and give it some depth. And as usual, while I'm here, I'm also going to go ahead and take that shade as well and run it along my bottom lash line and smoke it out. P.S. I hope you guys can excuse my lashes at the moment. They are needing to be, you know, touched up a little bit, so excuse them if they're looking a little bit patchy. But now that that's done, moving on to the next shade, I want to go in with this one down the bottom here, which, hold up, let me check. It is called Guac. It's like this beautiful green, golden olive type of shade. As you guys can see, it's a shimmery shade as well. So I'm going to go ahead and take that on a flat shader brush. And this color is pretty much going to be the star of the show. When I said that I was craving to do a green shadow look, this is the shadow that I was talking about. This was the kind of green shadow that I had in mind. As you guys can see, just applying that all over the lid and blending it up to the crease. I'm just going back in with the same brush that I used to apply the crease shadow, and I'm just working it in between those two shades that I've just laid down, just to make sure that everything is nice and blended through. You guys know that I always talk about just blending things and making sure that there's no harsh lines. Next shadow that I'm going to be taking is this one in the top corner here. This one is called Tea, and that shadow is going to be going onto the outer corner of my eyes. I'm just blending this into both of those shades that I've just laid down. Applying a darker shadow like this to the outer corner of the eyes really adds some more depth and definition, and then blending it into that lid shade is really going to make everything look seamless. Again, just blending through those shadows with the same brush that I used to apply my initial transition crease shade. I feel like with every tutorial that I do, I always end up going in with the same first brush that I use to blend everything through, and then it's at this point that you can like add more that you want and blend out more should you need it. It really is up to you and how you want the look to look, essentially. But I'll just like go back in during this time and like a little bit more to the outer corner or add a little bit more to the lid, depending on whether I've like accidentally blended away too much. But that's the thing with eyeshadows, you guys. Like if you're a beginner when it comes to applying shadows, it's really hard to make a mistake. I mean, unless you're going in crazy heavy-handed, but if you're just doing like a little bit at a time and just applying what you need and then adding more and then blending and adding more, it's not that difficult, and it's like hard to make a mistake because you can always blend things and add more should you need it. Also, as you guys can see, I'm just taking some of that tea shade that I applied to the outer corner of my eyes and running it along my bottom lash line as well. I'm just taking a little bit more of that Punch Me shade, the initial transition shade that I applied, and just running it along my bottom lash line to smoke everything out and to kind of also blend in that tea shade that I applied on there. Like I want it to be defined, but I don't want it to look like I just ran some liner along there. I want it to be smoky. So I'm actually going to be taking just a little bit of this shade right here. This is called Face, and I'm just taking that and adding it to the very center of my lids just to make them pop a little more. As you guys can see, it's like that extra bit of sheen in that area. Sometimes I tend to forget to do this next step, but I'm going to go ahead and apply some mascara to my bottom lashes. So this is the L'Oreal False Lash Telescopic Infinite Length Effect Fibres Mascara, and this mascara is perfect for applying to your bottom lashes. I feel like the wand itself is really great at making them look really defined, and I just love it for that purpose. As you guys can see as well, I have not yet done my brows, so I'm going to be using this brow pencil. This is actually from e.l.f. This is their Instant Lift Brow Pencil, and the shade that I have is Neutral Brown, I believe. And this is one of those pencils that's really quick and easy to swipe through the brows, gets them looking nice and defined really quickly and easily, which is why I like it. Plus, it's from e.l.f., so it's super inexpensive. So on to finishing off the rest of the face now. I'm going to go ahead and bronze. So I'll be using the Balm's Bahama Bronzer for that. Just taking this with a fluffy brush and applying it in all the usual areas that I like to bronze my face, like my cheeks, around my hairline, and I'm also going to use this same bronzer to contour my nose. There's something about the process of watching bronzer add color and life back into your face that I find so satisfying. For blush today, I'm going to be using this one from Wet n Wild. This is their blush in Rosé Champagne. And as you guys can see, it's this beautiful, like shimmery, peachy, orangey, like warm blush with a little bit of like a gold sheen to it, which I feel like is going to tie in really nicely with this look with all the warm tones that it's got going on. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply this to the apples of my cheeks and then bring it up towards my hairline. And then for highlighter, I'm going to be going into the Flower Beauty Shimmer and Strobe highlighting palette, and I'm going to take this one right here, the more golden toned highlighter. So just taking that on my highlighting brush and applying that to the tops of my cheekbones, as well as all the other areas that I like to highlight, so like above my brows and a little bit on the bridge of my nose as well. And just to tie that in even more, I'm going to take some of that and apply it as well to the very inner corners of my eyes, just as an inner corner highlight, and then whatever is left on the brush can go on my brow bone to highlight that area as well. Now for my lips today, I'm going to be using one of the Morphe lip kits. They actually call these their Out and Pout lip trios. So you essentially get a lip liner, a lipstick, and a lip gloss, and this particular like combination of products is called their Caramel Nude lip trio, I guess you could call it. So first things first, the lip liner is Trendsetter. Now this is a very dark brown lip liner, but trust me, it's gonna look fine when everything is blended in together. So as you guys can see, just going ahead and lining my lips with this. I swear every time I do this I get major 90s vibes, especially with the dark outlined lips. But moving on to the lipstick now, this is their lipstick in the shade Boo. As you guys can tell, a very beautiful caramel nude. So just applying that to my lips and blending it into the lip liner as I apply it. And then I'm just going over top with this lip gloss called Chill. Once again, a really pretty nude color, and it blends perfectly with these other two products. I'm also going to go in with a little bit of this lipstick right here. This is Boy Toy from Morphe. Just adding that to the center of my lips. It is a lighter nude shade, more pale. That's really going to help to make the lips pop and add more depth to them. Last but not least, just taking a little bit more of this multitasking spray and spritzing it all over my face to set the face and let the makeup settle better into my skin. So there we have you guys. That is the makeup look complete. I am obsessed with the olive tones all over the lid. I love that type of shade. It's so pretty, but I want you to comment down below and let me know what you think. As always, I'm going to leave a full list of everything that I used in this video down in the description box below, as well as links to my social media accounts if you want to keep up with me on any of those. I hope you guys enjoyed this video or found it helpful. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, like it before you leave it, and if you're still here at the end and you are not yet subscribed to my channel, consider subscribing by hitting the little red button down below before you go so you don't miss any more videos that I post. As always, I hope you guys are having an awesome day or night wherever you are in the world. I hope you're staying safe, looking after yourselves, and looking out for each other. And with that being said, I will talk to you guys in the comments, and I'll see you all in my next video.